100% agree with you. I've said this forever. People who espouse anarchy would never survive in it, because what anarchy means death. It's nihilism. It's the end of the end, because once you establish it, there's always going to be you create a vacuum, right? And that vacuum is going to be filled with whoever the darkest, evilest fucking person is that's willing to do the most extreme thing. And they'll go out there and they'll perpetrate all that.
And you're going to love this. Into our next subject, barbecue.
Oh, no, I don't have anything for that.
Perfect example of what you're talking about right there.
Exactly. You have government collapse. You have a guy that's willing to murder and eat people publicly. And what happens? The society immediately falls into shit. And that does bring us to our next topic. And our next topic is the issue with Haitians on their way to Florida.
Trying to be.
Yes. And the reason that this concerns us so much is because, first of all, it's another series of what I call illegal migrants coming to this country. They have let their country fall to complete shit. And it's not good. You don't want to import a bunch of people from third world nations that have been through these violent kind of things, right? And people are like, well, that's what we're supposed to. No, dude, we're not. It's not.
No.
We're not a fucking third world daycare center, man.
No. No. That's a good way of putting it, though. I like that.
Well, that's how they treat us. They want to come here and they want their milk and they want their nap time and they want their little blanket and they want it all, but they don't want to bring anything in with them besides their problems. And it's not that I hate these people. I don't want to see anything. You know what I mean? But the thing is, it's like, stay in your own house, clean your own house, do your own shit. It's not my problem, not my bag.
Well, you can have empathy for people in their situation, but that doesn't mean you're going to fall down on your own sword to help. I mean, right now, I mean, if we were in a different position, meaning we were how we once were, where we did have car factories that were producing lots of stuff and there was jobs and our economy was strong and our dollar wasn't on a decline and inflation wasn't doing what it's doing, and our industrial military complex wasn't just pumping out money to all these foreign countries for nothing.
Right.
If we were not doing that, then saying, hey, let's go send the Red Cross and some aid down to, Haiti and give, try to help them out. I mean, I'm not saying send military intervention, but like offer some help, and not by the way of you come here, like let's try to help them fix what's there. But at the position we're in right now, it's just too much. I mean, how many places are we going to go and give them all our money and bankrupt ourselves and inflate our dollar to that level? I mean, how long is it going to go on? I mean, we can't do it anymore. We just can't do it.
Well, and when it comes to Haiti, we've been here before, not that long ago. Okay, we got suckered into this once before. They had that major earthquake, and then there was unrest afterwards. And you have people that are like these pernicious scumbags, like the Clintons and other people that were all involved in these initiatives, fundraising initiatives. I looked at those numbers back then, and I can kind of remember them, but I think it was between $7 and $11 billion were raised to fix Haiti. $11 billion down there will go for a long time, dude, because it's U.S. money. It's, not to mention we sent medical aid down there and everything else. Nothing ever really got through, but the coffers in places like the Clinton Foundation and all this other stuff, they got super full. And there was also a lot of, and I don't know if this is tied to the Clintons, allegedly, some people say it is, but I'm not going to espouse that because I don't know, but there's a huge uptick in Haitian child trafficking at that same time. Part of it was because these families were desperate to get their children out of a not only a bad situation, but a deteriorating one. And then you have the kind of corruption that fills that vacuum at first. And because that was so corrupt, it failed. And now look what's there,
Well, kind of like the autonomous zone in Seattle.
Ugh.
I mean, anytime you take away structure, I mean, say what you want about, like, I mean, here we go on a tangent again, but like, but Iraq and Saddam Hussein.
Sure.
Say what you want about that guy, but he kept that fucking place in check.
And he had to with an iron fist.
The second we toppled him, it was just bedlam. Complete bedlam, and that's what you're seeing here. It's just you got a weak government infrastructure, bad policing, poor military. Like you said, you can't import people who are culturally not on the same page
Right.
and expect the good things to happen, because
Right.
it's never going to happen. At least not for a long time.
Sure.
Not without a lot of. I mean, just look at what happened in Cuba in the '80s down in Miami.
Terrible.
And everyone's like, "Well, they assimilated now," and I'm like, kind of, but
Um,
I mean, was it really? Think about how many people don't have dads and moms and sisters and brothers, and the shootings and all the death that happened as a result of that. Did that really need to happen?
well,
Was that
and
really our problem? Was Fidel Castro's atrocities in Cuba our problem?
and you also have to remember that he opened up the prisons
Yeah, he
and
dumped those
sent them here.
insane asylums and prisons, and he
Yeah.
dumped them on us. He was like, "Here you go, take them."
And that's what they're doing in Venezuela. That's what they're doing in all these places right now.
Yeah.
They're dumping their crazies over here. And it's absolutely nuts. But as it pertains to the Haitians, I was looking today at some legislation, or at least a letter that was getting put forward. I mean, I wrote it down here. It looks like Matt Gaetz went ahead and got a letter together with Representative Bilirakis, Representative Anna Paulina, who is from like the Hillsborough County area, and Representative Webster. And they sent a letter to the president and they said, look, man, we're getting ready to deal with a real problem here in Florida if these immigrants start fleeing here. And we want military aid, but we want military aid in the form of the Navy. Because DeSantis, he has activated all the available help that he can. The sheriff's departments have all kicked in. He's got FWC down there. We have Coast Guard cutters down there, and we have park police and other different jurisdictions down there trying to help out, including the state police. It's just not enough.
No,
Florida coastline is huge.
well, the feds are never going to send the Navy for us, though.
We're hoping they will do the right thing, or at least more Coast Guard. If I don't know if you remember this or not,
What's going on
right?
in Texas? I mean, not as of yet.
Well,
Anyway,
if you look right off the coast of where we live, it wasn't very much long ago that the sheriff's department stopped a boat full of Haitians out there.
oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it was not even 2 months ago. And
Well, like you said, they can only do what they can do.
they can only do what they can do, and we're far away from the Keys where they want to come ashore. So it's not so far to come to the Keys as it is here, and they made it up here. But that's basically what's going on. And it's a problem. We got a real problem. I mean, on our hands thinking about
The problem actually wouldn't be as severe if the fact is we actually had the federal government doing their job and actually
Correct.
backing us up. If we had a president in power and an administration in power that was interested in stopping the problem. They're not interested in stopping the problem. What they see is new potential voters. Because they're like, if I give you free stuff and I give you welfare and I give you asylum here in America and get you a voter registration card, you're going to vote Democrat.
Right.
They're scared. I mean, the latest polls that have been coming out, I mean, it shows a Trump ahead everywhere.
Right.
Like Trump's ahead in all the polls. They're scared. If you want to think for 1 second that they're not scared they're going to lose power, they definitely are.
That's why Obama's running around the fucking world right now, meeting with leaders. Biden, I saw an article this morning about Biden. They're saying, well, he's freaked out because he sees the poll numbers.
Yeah.
And he's way underwater.
And this is a very long view take on it. And maybe, I mean, we're not there yet. It's one of those, but we're probably going to have to cross that bridge when we get to it.
Yeah.
But Trump wins in November, takes over in January. He can only do 4 years.
Right.
We need somebody else to step up that's going to fill that gap and be able to defeat the Democrats in 2028 as well.
And this was my argument of why Ron DeSantis should have never fucking run for president.
He should have waited till 2028 if he was going to.
He was an heir apparent, dude.
Yep.
He was an heir apparent, but he got stupid motherfucker. See, here's the thing. He thinks he was smart and principled.